Hi, Sylvain from BERNINA. You know, when you do free motion quilting, you need a foot that will hop on a BERNINA, which is great because it gives you good fabric control and no skip stitches. And ideally, you'd have a clear sole so you can see where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. And also, if you have markings or grooves on the foot, that will let you see exactly how far you are and how close you're getting to, let's say, a ditch, so you can calibrate your passes and not ever run into a ditch or over and stay where you meant to be. Well, there's a foot just like that. It's Echo-Quilting foot number 44C. It's designed with all these features. You have your center, your 1/4 inch, and your 3/8 of an inch markings, so you can guide your work. It is clear and it hops. Let's go to the bench and I will show you how it works. Presser foot 44C is a C foot, so it will allow wide zigzagging. And it is also hopper enabled, so that this foot will go up and down when you do free motion work. The special elements of it are the dish at the bottom that will help glide over a project, even over appliques on a low loft batting. And it also has a groove to help you measure from your stippling distance. For instance, from the center needle position, the opening goes to a 1/4 inch, and then the ring on the outside goes to 3/8 of an inch. So you can prepare and measure, and as you stipple, you could use this to guide your work so that you don't get too close to, let's say, if this were a seam ditch, you can get close to it without encroaching. So it gives you visual reference while doing free motion work without the risk of getting too far with your work, which is better than just a regular foot. A little tip when practicing with a new tool. Rather than piece a quilt block, I'd rather draw a fake quilt block on a solid piece of cotton. I have a low loft batting and a backing. That way it's faster to go to the machine and practice, and it simplifies, and these lines actually are easy to write, and I can add details and notes on my sample when I'm done on base of what worked and what did not. So let's go to the machine and I will practice a little bit of stippling with the foot. The first thing I like to do when using a foot with guidelines like this, I like to form a visual memory of where my lines will be in relation to, let's say, my stitch ditches or the structure of my quilt or my block. So what I will do is pre-position. This ring, the first ring, is a 1/4 inch from the needle. So if I pre-position this right against the lines, which would be my seam ditches, then this is how far the foot needs to be in order to get to that point. I can do the same thing and just form a picture in my mind of where this is going to be in relation to this line, and so on. So by doing this, I train my eye already before the action starts, and then I can start stitching. So if I start at the bottom here, for instance, and I'm not making a real quilt, so I'm going to just stitch a little bit here, and I want to show you that when I start stitching, you'll see right away that the foot will go down. Notice that the foot just went down a little bit. And then when the needle retracts, the foot will go back up, and that's when you are moving. And as you move and the needle goes back down again, the foot again will go down and hold the quilt sandwich. This is thanks to the BERNINA Hopper Mechanism, and it helps control this quilt sandwich. This is a low loft batting compatible with this foot. And at that point, all I would have to do is start stitching. And notice as I go, if I want to do a sine wave like this, the line helps me control how far I get. And when I get to the end, I would be able to gauge I'm just about there. So I could actually restart from there and keep going. So this foot will help me stay clear of my edges. And then if you want to do echo-quilting on existing lines, you can do that as well. So the foot does two things: tame the quilt, hop in the process, and gives you a guideline on targeting your quilting. So the foot does three things for your free motion quilting. One, by hopping up and down, it keeps the quilt sandwich controlled for good stitch quality. Two, the disc at the bottom glides over, and with this raised lip will glide smoothly over the quilt sandwich, taming it ahead of the stitching point. And three, with the guidelines, you can actually get a good control over where your stippling goes and get exactly the results that you want. So there you have foot 44C, the Echo-Quilting foot. It is very well designed. It leverages the benefits of a Bernina, the Hopper mechanism. It has a clear sole that will help tame a quilt sandwich, even if you go over appliques. And it has markings to help guide your work. So all in all, the right tool for the job makes it easier with better results. What could be better? Echo Quilting Foot, number 44C.